And it's funny too because when I started running around thinking that Kim Ellison, Bobby Joe Champion, and Ilhan Omar, Peter Hayden was fucking with me, I started taking their signs out of people's yards and doing arts and crafts on them. And I gave Bobby the benefit of the doubt. I called Kim Prissy with a princess tiara set of high heels. And I called Ilhan Omar a terrorist. I said that she was trying to fund the boat crew and create what I consider to be organized slavery, where they had got a lot of people from other countries here, and we were now supposed to start taking care of them. And as we were now supposed to start taking care of them, the Department of Human Services was now, again, giving them more money than we got. So, in theory, welfare for people like my family, and I'm only going to use you because I'm guessing, right, that people like my sister Terry and my cousin Teddy was allowed welfare for the duration of their children's lives. Whereas I had welfare reform under me in my world because they said that it was too long of a program. They wanted us to get off of welfare, right? So they created welfare reform as I was having my kids. And as I was having my kids and they created welfare reform, you had 5 years on welfare. If during that 5 years you could not get a job, then they gave you supplemental security income and you were now labeled EBD, emotionally behaviorally disrupted, because your black ass didn't want to work. That's different, right? Dr. Umar? That's not the same as getting an EBD label because you have a charge outside of school. So like let's say you got caught on the corner selling weed outside of school. You're now in court and you're going to be assigned an attorney who, like Amy Jane Getz, might now want to look at your school records, and because you're in school and you were caught after school hours selling weed, you are now emotionally behaviorally disruptive in the community because they said you were bad at school, you got caught selling weed after school. Now they've got 2 check marks against you, and all they need is like a rec center or a church to add the 3rd, and you're now EBD, which means that you don't have no home training, which is totally different than other health disability, where under my ideology, the way they taught me, other health disability meant that they had something a doctor could discern. So they said my son had ADHD. I decided I had ADHD. They said his daddy had ADHD. They said his daddy got Ritalin. His daddy was against Ritalin for my children at that time. So that for me was enough to say, hey, let's talk about this. Because just because we got ADHD don't mean we need a pill. A pill is not going to make us organized, is it? What's going to make us organized is the structure that we're in that needs to know we have ADHD, and we have to be very organized, right? It's how we learn, right? So I'm just saying my son wanted to read in private, which under other health disability, he could have read in private, right, Dr. Umar? Don't mean he needed EBD. Don't mean my 4th grader needed to be put into an institution, Michael Davis, where he was going through metal detectors, being wanded down because he didn't want to fucking read out loud. Bitch, you make me sick. Do you understand that? You didn't understand my argument. You didn't fucking talk to me. All you wanted to do was slander my name and get in my pussy, Dr. Umar. I'm claiming you're the one that came to my home as, you know, again, Mary Moriarty. I had Tanisha and Tony, as I had Serenity, as I had Tanner and Truthus.